Good morning, Monrovia. Good morning, Habel. Good morning, Field. Good morning, Sport. Good morning, Toronto. Good morning, Salada. Good morning, Macaque City. Good morning, Tottenberg. Good morning, Clay. Good morning, Bo Waterside. Good morning, Riverside. Good morning, Bapolo. Good morning, Buchanan. Good morning, Lark. Good morning, Carwell. Good morning, Broville, Virginia, and Camp David. My River Egg, this is 50-50 on the Tuesday morning on Sky 107.1 FM with this topic. What is your evaluation of the government's performance for the last 11 months in the areas of the Liberian economy, in the area of governance, our fight against corruption, in the recognition of international perception, international community perception about the government, the way forward if everything is going right and everything is going wrong. My special studio guest is the political leader of the ANC, Mr. Alexander B. Cummings. The number to call by 11 o'clock as usual is 0777-777-107. You be live on 50-50 on Sky. 107, my name is Steve Mass. Of course, I'm the one, the grandson of my grandfather. 50-50, you just can't beat the experience. I'll be back right after the theme song. Thank you very much. You're back on 50-50 on Sky 107. My special studio guest is Alexander B. Cummings of the ANC. The government has been in power for the past 11 months. Everybody has his own evaluation and assessment of what the government has done. But people that ran along with Joshua in the 2017 presidential elections will know exactly if this government is performing the way they ought to. Literally, our old people say that if the Christmas will be good, if the 26th will be good, the indicator is the eve of the event. So we've invited Honorable Alexander B. Cummings. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Tim Max. Let me say I'm happy to be back in your studio. You know, you recall my first interview in this year was here with you. And so it's a good way to bookend the year.
Let me get some secret. How do you keep yourself fit? You're not putting on weight. Why?
You know, I exercise, which is very important. I encourage Liberians in whatever way. Preventive health, preventive medicine is important. So exercise, I eat everything.
You eat everything?
I eat everything, but I eat in moderation. So I don't eat, huge quantities, but I eat everything. And I also try not to eat too late at night. Sometimes you can't help yourself, but I try to eat early so the food can digest before I go to bed. So those simple things help me to keep in shape.
To keep in shape?
Yes.
The government has been in power for the past 11 months. I want to take you to your own domain, your specialty, so to speak, because you've done that in the areas you worked. Let's look at the economy, because this situation in our country is bread and butter. And the dining room is the indicator of whether things going right or things going wrong with us. First, we got to look in the dining room. If the woman is singing this, our mothers can sing this funny song. There are two songs that mothers and wives sing. If they sing the song, Jesus, you know my trouble, Jesus, you know the minute the dining room is in problem, it means that there's no money coming. But when she sings the other song, butter my bread, sugar my cocoa, it means that the economy is flourishing and everybody is in the area of, you can afford it. You can put bread on the table. We make you a good husband, or make you a good father. Let's look at the economy. Is it working?
Look, it's not. Liberians are struggling, and that's just a fact. And, I know supporters of the government will disagree, but the reality is Liberians are struggling. Prices are up across the board on almost everything. People are struggling to pay their rent. to pay tuition for their kids to go to school. People are struggling to put food on their table. These are just the facts. So whether I say it or not, Liberians are experiencing very, very difficult times. So I would say the economy is not working. T-Max, earlier in the year, one of our first press conferences, after President spoke about the economy very briefly, we called a press conference, and I brought the statement we issued, because in that statement we were very specific in some recommendations on things that could be done to help the economy. And I want people to know we are trying to be constructive. Yes, we make no apologies for holding the government accountable, but we're also going to be constructive in our process. And we recommended a few things. One, we said, and I'll just read very quickly, won't take too much time. We said we need to maintain sound fiscal discipline. That means we need to spend the monies we have and not overspend, and we need to take out waste. We also said we need to adopt smart growth-inducing tax policies. Look at our tax regime. See how we can expand the tax base and put tax policies that will encourage people to invest, encourage business people. We said to eliminate monopolies. Today, there are few people that are allowed to import certain ingredients, rice and those kinds of things. It doesn't help the country. So let's open that up. The more people do it, the more competition. It will help pricing, particularly if we let Liberians do those things. We said enhance the environment for export and import substitution. So why not create industrial zones in our port cities and give them tax incentives to invest and manufacture in Liberia? So I could go on and on, but the point is, we were very specific in our recommendations on how to improve the economy. And the reality is these things are not happening and Liberians are struggling.
So why are they not happening?
Well, I think that's a question we should be asking the president and his government. The ideas are there, the suggestions are there. They should be implementing these things to alleviate the challenges Liberians are facing. The joblessness in Liberia is very high. Question is, what are they doing to alleviate that? Foreign direct investments is down. That's just a fact. They argue not, but they need to show us that. I'm happy to be wrong, by the way, because if I'm wrong, that means things are going well for the country and the people. But they need to give us the facts. So whether it's because they got the right people with the right skills, with their experiences to implement these things, I don't know. But I know it's not happening, and I know the Liberians are feeling the consequence of that reality.
Could we say that that's a consequence of ineptitude? I don't want to put it mildly. Ineptitude, lack of experience, or could be that those resources that we depended on yesterday just more or less lost their values?
I think it's all of the above, in the sense that I think, and I've said this before, so this will not come as a surprise, that I think there is incompetence and ineptitude. I think there's allegations that resources are being diverted for personal use. So those are all part of the reasons why I think we're experiencing the challenges we're experiencing today.
Largely because we don't know exactly how to tackle the economic problem to stimulate growth and put our people to work so that it can have a cycle of returning back to us.
Either we don't know or we don't care to. And it might be a combination.
The way we go in, does it point to the fact that we know or we don't know?
It points to the fact that we don't know.
We don't know.
That's what I would conclude, because I cannot assume that the government, if they knew what to do, wouldn't be doing those things.
The government has seen levy months and things are the way they are. A week ago, the whole country was struck down with the shortage of petroleum products. Nobody knows whether that could record again. Can we take this trend down the line in 6 years, or we just might cease to exist so the government might come to a total collapse?
Well, I don't want to be a doomsayer. I think we should be hopeful that the government will see the light and the government will begin to do things that will turn things around. I don't think it is in any of our interest to be alarmist or to be doomsayers. We should hope that things will change and things will go in the right direction. And this is why we...
But we gotta hope cautiously.
Well, you cannot hope...
you can't hope recklessly.
Of course not, right? But I don't want to be an alarmist. I don't think that's constructive. I don't think that's helpful, T-Max. And I think we should hope that as the government starts 2019, that they will see the light, they will start focusing on themselves, and it'll begin to focus on Liberian people. And I hope that's what happens.
Let's look at another angle of the economy. It's largely in a baseless, tax-oriented sort of economy we're running. What will you suggest to be the stimulus? Do we visit our tax regimes? Do we give incentives and lower tax and get away with this unnecessary bureaucracy and open the market, or like you suggested before in the first interview? Hey, don't let anybody think because the more they have these guys bringing the basic commodities that we need, the lower the prices will be.
Yeah, so T-Max, we have to do all of those things. We have to look at the tax regime and make sure it supports and encourages people to invest. But even bigger than that, right? The actions we take as a country, the actions the government take has to instill confidence in business people, both foreign and domestic, that if they invest their monies, they will get a return, that environment is stable, that there's rule of law, that there's sanctity of contracts. And you gotta create this environment that people have confidence that, you know, if they invest, they will get a return. So it starts with that overarching confidence. And so when you have an ongoing investigation about what happened to $16 billion, when it's not clear what happened to the $25 million that was supposedly infused to mop up LDs, when you have all those questions, it does not instill confidence. When you have the head of the National Housing Authority being recorded planning to extort money, all of those actions does not encourage confidence in local business people nor foreign business people. So unless you can fix those things, you can take some of these actions, and when we should, I encourage the government to do so. But unless you do all of those things, it'll be hard to get this economy to go. And again, so let's hope that as we start 2019, the fiscal environment changes, the monetary environment changes, the government can take actions that begin to restore confidence. And then hopefully we'll see growth in the
I'm looking for buried in this as a stimulus for this. If the government were to misbehave, make utterances not in the right direction, could that scare investors? If we create a political problem that we ought not to have created in the first place, with our scared investors away, if we attempt to be imperial, not dictatorial to that extent, does that scare anybody away to come into the economy?
Absolutely, all of those things. So it's what you say, but it's even more important what you do that will either scare away investors or encourage investors. So if you have, as you said, what appears to be a rift between the president
and the vice president,
that does not bode well, does not give confidence to people when in less than a year, the winning party, the winning coalition, there appears to be a rift. That is a problem for the perception of our country outside and investors. When again you have the government themselves, one hand saying no money was missing, another senior person saying money was and we're investigating, that does not give confidence to people that people know what they're doing. And again, these are just the facts, T-Max.
But why should that matter to investors? I say I brought money and I put the money in the economy to map up the excess liquidity. The Minister of Finance said, hey, come on, I didn't put that through the banking system. I had the money on my back, in the bank, on my back, just as Judas Iscariot would do trading Jesus. And I took to the money changers and they changed the money without giving her the names of the money changer. What that has to do with investors? That's our business. That's not their business.
Well, look, investors have a choice of where to put money. They don't have to bring it to Liberia. They can take it to Ghana, to Rwanda, to Nigeria, to Ivory Coast, etc.
No, they can scare somebody away?
Yes, of course. So they look at the actions of the government, they look at the utterances of the government, and if they have a choice to go where it appears to be more stable, more responsible, where there's growth, that's where the money will go. People have a choice. They don't have to do it here. So all of those actions discourages people from investing. These are just facts. These are international facts. And so unless the environment is conducive, unless there appears to be competence in government, the government actions and utterances, it'll be difficult, even for domestic people, to invest. They will have concerns because they don't know if they'll get a return, whether there'll be stability in the economy so that they can return.
Which of them hurts us more? The reckless utterances, the bad decisions we take, the statements we made, which one hurts them more?
All of them hurt us. But I think the most impactful one is this missing money issue. I think, we are kind of the laughing stock of the international community when, 16 billion Liberian dollars, is apparently unaccounted for and apparently missing. That plus all the issues around, governments and this rift within the governing coalition, those do not give people confidence.
Let me put it this way, because I'm looking at the economy, because that's what concerns most Liberians. Maybe we'll bring back the $16 billion. Maybe the Minister of Finance tells us who he gave the money to. And we still have this rift between the president and the vice president. Which one we're surprised as being the panacea to our problem, the economic problem.
So look, there's no panacea to solving this. There got to be a series of things that have to happen. So I don't want to give you.
They work in concert.
Yeah, they do.
If we mismanage one, it hurts us. You see,
it does. Absolutely. So there's no one silver bullet. There's no one action you can take. You got to fix all of these things, and you got to do it consistently over time, so that people can have confidence that it was not just. You're not just reacting to one situation, but you're doing all of these actions consistently over time. That will give people confidence to invest in the country. So there's no silver bullet here. You have to do many things consistently well, and then you begin to see stimulus in the economy.
Okay, let's take our first break, and when we come back, we look at our governance system. This apparent race between the president and the vice president is hurting. International politicians are saying that, coupled with the so-called attempt to remove the Associate Justice Janet from the bench by persuasion, by some sort of machinization to get him off, and they point to the fact that was skill on governance is totally down. We'll be back right after that break.